Hey guys, and welcome to Igloo, and today there's an upgraded version of my last design when it comes to these fence foundations. Now, one of my comments that I had from my previous video from Chewy was that he was just like, alright, well, how about you put the pillars inside each individual small square? So I was just like, let's see on how deep the bunny goes with this. And I was like, alright, now we have it for tier 2 structures. You got to make sure that you look straight down into the structure in order to put these pillars. Now each one is worth just as much as a regular foundation is. That's a 1x1. So now you're adding more layers in perpetuity to your structural integrity, but you got to make sure that they do not link to your fence foundations in all entirety. So when it comes to degradation, you got to make sure that you have it linked to a ceiling or something of the sort at the top, or it might have degradation on the inside of your wall structure. Now if you make sure that you have it linked by underneath a foundation of some sort, you can be able to achieve wonders with this. Now I used the ceiling technique in order to do this. Now I did the same strategy for my same control. I used 13 demon fire barrages and measured the amount of damage. Now, the interesting thing is that it affects the ceiling once hit as well as the first wall only initially, because the pillars are not interlinked to the rest of the fence foundation. It does not cause that type of damage. So, the pillars do not get the damage from the splash effect, only the outer casing. So, that's a walk around and a reach around to the majority of a lot of the building degradation. Now, depending on the acceleration of the state of ruin that's on your server, can be dictated on the amount of barrages that you can be able to take. Now, if you are going to be using, like this design right here, the tier 2 version of this variant, it is still very sturdy. Now, after getting a good portion of the barrages going, so let's say we're around like 8 to 9 barrages right now, it just completely and utterly annihilates for what you've been doing in this big regard. One of the bigger things when it comes to if you want to build onto tier 2 or you want to build onto tier 3. The biggest and the most expensive difference that you're going to see is because, do I really want to invest in the steel? Do I really want to worry about this one wall design? Or do you want it to be permeable so that it can be done? I still made sure so that I had everything in my control settings so that it can be as thorough as I can possibly be for you guys. Now, once we got to this point, we were almost 3 to 2 bombs the amount of what was needed left. And that means you still have your pillar foundations, you still have almost everything else, and it only wants almost nearly halfway through to the wall structure. And that's still amazing because before there was only one wall left. Now, with this design, you can also put it, if you place the pillars right, exactly on top of the ceilings, adding to another layer of your fortification. So now you can be able to keep stacking higher and higher depending on where your pillars are. Now we're testing in tier 3. Tier 3 is a beast. What has happened is that it only went through a half of a 1x1 layer with the tier 3. So if you really want to have something that's completely and utterly protected, I would highly recommend this kind of setup, even if it's just one wall in one 1x1 setup like this, and you really want to protect your vault, especially if it's from demon fire barrages and or the whole manufacturing points of demon fire barrages and bombs. And we want to keep those players out as much as we can and as fast as we possibly can. And right now we're about 10 bombs in, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is the thickest to known right now for wall setups. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is going to be on my server that I play with. If you want to hit me up and you want to play with me, please leave a comment down below and we'll see if we have space, because we're nearly full on the server that we're on right now. If you guys like this video and like on how informative it is, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good one, guys.